Hey everyone, how's it going? It's I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a Veve OMI update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If not, welcome back. I love y'all. I'm gonna say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing the thanks button down below. Apologies for the voice. It was a crazy weekend. I'll go over all of that now, my decon breakdown, my everything. So again, apologize for this voice. OMI is not record lows, but very low. We are below 0008 right now. So be advised, whales have been buying, I've been buying, it's just there is a lot, there are billions and billions that have been going on sale. Yeah, a couple billion have been bought up. I myself am at 149 million OMI right now. I finally got it, but we are down about 9% today. We are not outperforming anything. It was a down day for crypto in general. Bitcoin down about 2.3%, Ethereum down about 3.4%. Whether you have Doge, Solana, like pretty much everything is down. And when it rains, it pours. Obviously, that does affect OMI as well. OMI does tend to be a little bit independent, but in general, when the whole market's down, again, that tends to bleed as well. This despite the fact that we had some major announcements this week. One of the announcements I'll go over real quick, and I'm not 100% sure what to make of it because Veve wasn't 100% clear on it, which was Banksy. We will have Banksy NFTs as far as artwork inspired by Banksy, as far as brandalism. Banksy has said before that he did not want some of his artwork that has been stolen, and there is a little bit of controversy about that because some of the artwork that should not have been reproduced, that's what he's fighting against. There is stuff that he has done like as street art, that street art that's public, and that stuff is the ones that I think we're going to get because that's the way that Veve prevents any lawsuits from it via vandalism. And again, the stuff that Banksy has, I think, fought against was not against the street artwork. It was against some other stuff that he had done that they were trying to capitalize on. I don't think that's what Veve's doing, but again, I'll wait for confirmation on Veve, whether it's actually with him or with brandalism or it's with both. We'll keep y'all posted. One of the other things that we had was Lamborghini, and I did some digging on this. I couldn't find any of the sales data for most of the NFTs that they did. Lamborghini, so this won't be a first appearance of Lamborghini on a blockchain, but these will probably be first editions of them because I would consider them artwork. Comment down below which do you think, first appearance, first edition. They did have some over the last couple months, and they did not do well at all. There were two that I did find sales data on. There was one super rare limited one where they had 63 editions of it. That sold out. And there was another one where they had 1,963 of them. And that one, as of today, right now, because it ends in the next one day, 11 minutes, had sold 20. So it was $196.30. The reason they do that, the 1963, is because that's just the year they were founded in. So it would make sense. I don't know if they're going to do something like that on Veve. They might, or the number 1963 might just happen to be really good. I would like to see them do something similar to the Aston Martin, where they had a 1 of 7, a 1 of 500, a 1 of 2,500. I think that would be really cool. I think that'd be dope. I would also expect a ton of other car companies to come do this as well. Again, you would not have, I don't think you would have Lamborghini if we didn't have Aston Martin. And the Aston Martin have a huge success. I don't know if we would have that if we didn't sell out of the DeLoreans or the Ecto ones and just know that there was a market there. Again, the other markets for at least the Lamborghini NFTs, they did not do it. I would consider that a failure. And all the other ones, again, outside of the 63 that sold out and the 1963 where they've sold 20 of them so far and there's like 1.5 days left. The other ones, that it just says that they're closed. I don't know the sales data on that. If anyone can find it, comment down below. But I've said it before, I'll say it again. It is very hard for other companies, major fandoms, let's say like Lord of the Rings or like Lamborghini, and take their fandom and say, hey, buy these NFTs. It is much easier for Veve, people that love NFTs, say like, hey, we have this fandom. It is so much easier for it to do that. I don't think that there's any license that we couldn't get. I'm sure that, again, and this is the bear market that we're announcing these things in. So I'm very bullish on that. Which ones are we going to get? I don't know. But speaking of new ones, I was having a talk with Taps the other day. It was separate from our tub video where we are in the very large bathtub together. Go watch that. That's pretty great. And he was talking. So this is third-hand knowledge that I'm getting, but he was talking with someone that had, I think he was on like Gerbil or Gerbit. He was on a website that shows Marvel's line item numbers, and it shows what they're going to do in the next couple months. And it did say that there was going to be 6 new Marvel Mighty sets that are going to come out. So this is not from Veve. This was I guess it was a leak from Marvel, and it happened to leak on this. The speculation for this, at least over the next few, it might be Guardians of the Galaxy, because even though we've seen Groot a couple times, we don't have Drax, we don't have Gamora, we don't have Rocket Raccoon, we don't have Star-Lord. I think that'd be pretty great. Obviously, we'd get maybe young and older Groot, and that would be six of them. Not including any of the other major characters like Yondu, R.I.P. I'm going to comment F down below to pay respects. We don't have anyone from any of the other movies. We could have The Living Planet. We could have Star-Lord's mom. I know I'd want Star-Lord's mom as a Mighty. One of the other things, it would be Ant-Man Quantumania. That movie does come out in February, so you would have Ant-Man, Paul Rudd. You'd probably have Ant-Man Hank Pym. You'd probably have Yellow Jacket. You'd probably have the Wasp. You'd probably have Kang, and then you'd also probably have Cassie Lang in there as well as a character. And the reason why I'm going for 6 is because outside of the Deadpool chimichanga truck, which was just a one of one, or just one of them to complete the set, you had Spider-Man, you had Deadpool, you had Thor, and the Black Panther Mighties that were all 6. The only outlier with that is Black Panther, because out of the Black Panther, there were 6 characters, but you are going to get an airdrop if you have all 6. You will get multiple airdrops if you have multiple sets. I have 2. Can't wait for that. There's some people, I think, like Clever Jerk, that I think that has 8. Going to get 8 Black Panthers. That's going to be insane. So I'm really excited to see what they do for that. What other movies coming out next year. Maybe you could have some Captain Marvel stuff. Maybe you could have some Ms. Marvel stuff. It's going to be pretty great either way. But speaking of Marvel and speaking of Disney, the Disney stock is up 9% today on the news that Bob Iger has returned as CEO. That is over about $15 billion. Why is this important? One of two things. And these are the most likely scenarios. Either worst, I think on the worst side of it, Bob Iger coming back means it could mean nothing for Veve. It could just mean like, hey, he has to focus on where all the fires are and put them out. Generally, when you are CEO, you don't get to work on the problems that you want to work on. You get to work on the things that you have to. They're essentially chores. And he's got a lot of fires to put out. He's got a lot of stuff to fix. There's some things in production right now. Is like, I'm very, very bullish on it. It might take a little while to get out of. Or on the opposite end, on the plus side, he'd be like, hey, where are our winners? Where are the stuff that that already making us money? Let's double down on those. Oh, Veve. I think that would be pretty dope. I think that'd be pretty cool. I think that we would have, what would be really great is if Disney, and again, this would be super great for them, at these near record lows of 0007s, they'd be like, yeah, let's buy like a couple $1 million, $10 million worth of the OMI token, put it on their balance sheet so that in the next 2 years it skyrockets. I think that'd be really great. Is that going to happen? Probably not. But I mean, they could, because they're so new into NFTs, they're so new into crypto at large, and Veve's kind of been holding their hand through it. And you saw on Veve Magic's interview with David that, yeah, nobody gets the treatment that David got. Like maybe a handful of people in the world would get the treatment that David got. It is a very, very special relationship. There's some people that said, oh, just because we didn't see Veve just because we didn't see Disney or Marvel NFTs in the Veveverse demo, people are thinking that we don't have the ability to get licenses for, which is absolutely nuts. It's absolutely bananas. Obviously, when I saw some Feesh in there, Dan was helping me set it up when I could look at it in VR. There's a bunch of different demos for the Veveverse. And you could look inside, you could look outside. Outside, I saw the Battlecroc statue, I saw the Veve Golden logo, I saw Feesh. I was like, no heckin' way, oh my god. And it wasn't a Feesh that I ever saw before. It wasn't a Feesh like anyone's minted. It was a very large red and green Feesh. It seemed to be a lot bigger, and it seemed to have a pole going through it, like it was like a ride on a merry-go-round. And then when I said, oh my god, it's a Feesh, and Dan had said, yep, you're going to be able to take any NFT you have and be interoperable. You bring it in the Veveverse. It's like, so at first I thought that they wouldn't do that because no other company has 3D premium digital collectibles. No other company has it the same way that we do. But they all have JPEGs, and all the JPEGs are kind of like wall artwork. So you could take a bored ape, you could take a poo, you could take poo's NFTs. You could take a Toshimon, pretty much anything that you want, and put it in there. I think that's pretty cool. A lot of wall art decorations will be fun. Um, and then that was one demo. The other demos that they showed were going to be on the computer. They were going to be on your phone, and it seemed like the quality of it actually was down. Like, there is another version out there supposedly from Unreal Engine 5 that is a super high quality version, but the reason why is because they just wanted to make sure everything worked, whether it's for the headset, computer, whatever. So the quality was, I think, in 480p. So when everyone saw that stuff in 480p, imagine having that in 1080p. Imagine having that on the legit, because again, it is agnostic. You could have stuff built on Unity, built stuff on Unreal Engine 5. Super excited for it. One of the other announcements that we had was the new Play to Earn game. Play to Burn, Play to Earn, that will be announced next year. It will just be for PC and Mac. I don't think it's something you're going to be able to play on your phone. Tablet is something that you might be able to play it on. I'm not 100% sure yet. We'll see on that. But that looks like a legit game. That looks like a legit 2D side-scroller hack and slash. I am all about the 2D side-scroller hack and slashes, clearly. So I think that's very, very bullish for the token as well. In other news, shout out to Amar Singh, saying thank you to the National Portrait Gallery, London, and artist Howard Tang, saying the National Portrait Gallery, London, has acquired a portrait of activist Amar Singh by the artist Howard Tang for their permanent collection. This artwork, which features Singh wearing a pride-colored ribbon around his wrist, celebrates LGBT and rights and Singh's commitment to the cause. So he'll be on the podcast on the 26th. That'll be really fun to have him on, going over the new utility platform that is launching next month. Link down below to the utility Discord. We are going to start off with the Winx Club, so that's a pretty popular brand as well. And speaking of podcasts, might as well announce this right now. A week from tomorrow, on Tuesday, on the 29th, at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Alfred R. Khan will be coming on the podcast. Cannot wait for that. That's good. It's one of the most exciting interviews I think I'll have had. Speaking of interviews, it wasn't really an interview. I did have lunch with David over on that Wednesday. My friend Ernie, shout out to him. Bought that Gary Baseman 1 of 1. He did get the physical copy and a drawing that Gary Baseman, who was at the lunch, actually did for him. Him and his brother-in-law couldn't go due to a family emergency, unfortunately. So just comment down below well wishes to Ernie. And but I did get to still have that lunch with David, my friend BJ, David, and then Gary Baseman. Gary Baseman's such a nice guy. The conversations having with David at that is just so bullish. So many things that I've just read in his eyes, where he goes and talks about something like, yeah, we're really excited with what's to come, whether it be with Disney, Marvel, Universal, etc. Obviously, he didn't go into specifics. I don't have an NDA, so he, couldn't say, I think, really what he wanted to say, but just a lot of exciting things to come. He mentioned something about new opportunities, something about how in a bear market, I don't know, there's opportunities to do certain things. I don't know what that's about, but in other news, we do have Brock McBlockchain going and tweeting, reminder, unless you're trading, get your stuff off of exchanges. If you need a hand with this, avoid DMs. Scammers will reach out to help privately. The process of owning your coins isn't hard once you do it. Speak publicly and take control of your assets. I don't have any of my stuff over on anything, on any exchanges. It's all on Trust Wallets. And ledgers are great too. Also, I'm not sure if I mentioned this already, the Veve update. So we did have a Veve update for the app, and it does show burned and remaining editions. For that, I thought it was pretty interesting because the data is not there yet. I think the zeros are just placeholder numbers, because they burned a bunch of Captain Americas. They burned a bunch of other stuff, like let's say the Thor posters, which again, shout out to my friend Ernie again. Him and his brother-in-law, I think, have 40% of those Thor posters, because only 534 out of the 1,000 were redeemed. But it doesn't show any of the burns for anything. I think all of that data will come in over the next couple months, and it will update, I guess, every week or so. Speaking of updates, I did run into Pudding Cheeks this weekend. He was there. Shout out to him for everything he helped do with OUP. He's just so huggable in person. Love that man. He had mentioned that all of these, the progress bars, they will be updated about once a month, give or take. Maybe if there's a really major update, he could do that whenever. So go and just refresh this page constantly, because that is something that you'll see. You'll see over the next month or so. It will update every month. and hopefully sometimes a little bit sooner than that. We shall see. Shout out to Rootless Girl, who's going over a couple of data. So the total, I'm going to go over what is up and what is down as far as VV markets. The number of tokens minted over the last week has gone down about 14%. And the reason for that is because we didn't really have too many comics. Comics in general are about 30,000 a piece. Sometimes they're about 10,000 per run. But the tokens minted was 32,906. Why I'm happy about that is because, again, we didn't have any comics. It was all really just stuff from DesignerCon, which was great. I got a couple. I got the Brian Viveros one. And then the one that we had yesterday. This is really exciting to talk about. The Brett Crawford Self-Made. He'll be coming on the podcast as well at some point. We're not 100% sure yet. But the Self-Made ones, you might recognize. The physical, at least the small physical ones, were at the DesignerCon kickoff party over in May, I believe. And anyone who got that did get a reservation number, and they could go and redeem that, and they could buy it whenever they wanted. I think Taps has that. I think Wet Wizard has that, and a couple of other people. And like, well, Chavez, why is it 450 gems? That's so much. Well, the 450 price, and again, this sold out in an instant, was because Brett Crawford, that same artist, does have not only the small physical ones that people bought at Decon, does have a 5-foot one, a very, very large one, that is, I think, on Phillips Auction House. That does end, I think, December 7th. And I think that's the same date that they only have, if you're Taps or Wet Wizard or you bought the small physical one at Decon, you have until December 7th to go and redeem it. Why that date? Because that's the time the auction ends. And it is estimated to go for at or above $80,000 for that. As soon as that happens, you can be damn sure the smaller ones and the digital NFT copies will probably rise in value. I also think that is very bullish that we did have, in a bear market, those sell out in an instant. Again, $450 that's more than Secret Rare Spider-Man was. That's more than like Black Panther. That's more than, it's insane. And the floor is already like 580. But anyway, back to the data. Outside of that, something else that went down was the market buyers. There was only 7,879 wallets that were buying, so that was down 3.83%. The market sellers were up. There was about 7,529, so that was up about 11%. There are still more market buyers than market sellers. There are more smart people, and the amount of, again, look at the people that are buying. That's the people that are buying are the top 100 wallets. There are very, very few people in those top 100 wallets that are doing more selling than buying. Now, I'm not saying selling doesn't happen. Some people will sell certain things that are more expensive and complete more sets, get more MCP points. MCP will be tied to the Viviverse. David did mention that. So MCP will be tied to the Viviverse, and then the golden logo as well. Be advised, the golden logo is going to have more utility. He said he didn't want to announce at Decon because he didn't want people to FOMO in. But the VV shirt that you got, so I took Wendy Stibalis and VV Vibes as my plus ones to go get the physical redemption, and the shirts were given out. They were gold and silver VV logo shirts, and David said that those shirts are just going to be utility on top of utility, which is really, really interesting. So it's not just the logo, it's going to be the shirts as well. But like I said, people selling stuff just so they can buy more stuff, and David had also said MCP will be tied to land in the Viviverse. So that's probably more than enough reason for people to buy the sets. But what is up another 10.9% is the active wallets. There are 17,213 active wallets this week. Very, very exciting about that. And then the store buyers, people buying directly from the store, not just on secondary, was up 22.92%. We had 12,218 people that buying straight from the store. I do think a lot of these probably were people buying the flying DeLorean, because the flying DeLorean will be flyable in the Viviverse. Dan had said, yep, you can get in and fly around. How heckin' awesome is that? And shout out to Bravos Assassin, that over the course of he just did a quick little thing, says DesignCon 2022, there were 10 drops by Veve over 3 days, 60.75 Master Collector points, 1,435 gems for all 20 collectibles, 13 of which are below retail, so that's what you can get that for. Also, some other things that were announced is that the Batmobile and the Bat Signal are confirmed coming to Veve. During a live panel discussion at Decon, David had announced that the Batmobile and the Bat Signal are coming to Veve soon. Also said it will be affordable and have a large number of editions so that everyone has a chance of getting one. And it looks like Veve has outmaneuvered Palm on this one. I will go over a couple of other things, some little minute things over the next week or so. But again, I do have voice is not feeling so hot, so I may or may not go live tonight. But comment down below any questions you have, anything I didn't go over that you think I should. Comments, likes, and subscribes are great. Help the channel grow. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashie. Bye-bye, Dashie. I love you guys. Bye. Meow, meow, meow. A shout out to Kryptoni for the hat. Meow, 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 meow.